2, 3, 4.
Bom dia, meus irmãos e irmãs, e bem-vindo ao podcast dos Homens do Bom Dia. Good morning, my brothers and sisters. This is our 19th episode of the Good Morning Guys podcast. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine morning, or perhaps afternoon, evening, or night, depending on when you're listening. As we continue discussing the game of life, amidst the other games we love to watch and play, I am one of your hosts, the Backlog exclusive gaming Brazilian mountaineer Lucas Ham. Also, the judge, jury, and executioner of fake news, the quiet man himself, a Patrick Novosel. Beautiful.
Hello.
Also, the guy who would rather watch paint dry than the Superman movie, but can make you laugh in 3 words or less, Ronnie Johantis.
Good morning.
And last but certainly not least, a man with music in his heart and Doctor Who on his brain, our 2-time reigning little riding champion, a Marc Boucher.
I'm feeling uncomfortable. Is anybody else feeling uncomfortable? I'm feeling uncomfortable.
We've
That's a great nickname.
just begun.
Not yet.
If this is
Now I am.
well, there you go. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. If it's not, then welcome back. You seriously have a problem. Just kidding. We love you. So, guys, to start out, do you guys know what Braille, crisp plates, walkie-talkies, and Superman all have in common? Any guesses? Anyone?
They're all things.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, Superman's a person, if we're being honest. I don't think he's a thing. I mean, don't belittle his existence, even if it's fictional. Pat, you got a guess? No?
Nope.
Ronnie?
They're small.
They're all things and or people.
Great. Wow. You guys should be on Jeopardy. You are a Jeopardy contestant.
What is
I'm sorry.
or people?
What is things?
There you go. That's much better. Now you did it right.
Yes.
Oh, man. All those things that I mentioned, they were all originally invented by kids. Mostly teenagers, in fact. Happy Kid Inventors Day, guys. Aren't you excited? We celebrate it every year.
Yeah.
Speaking of inventors, also happy birthday to Ben Franklin. He invented kites, almanacs, and lightning, so we owe him a lot. He's a cool guy.
Benjamin Franklin is the devil.
He invented lightning?
That's what I.
Is that what I heard?
That's what I read in my history books.
He's like Poseidon, but in the sky?
No, Zeus is the lightning guy, not Poseidon. Come on, man. Get your mythology straight.
Yeah, Poseidon's the one who invented the bifocals.
Benjamin Franklin is Zeus, is what you're saying.
He's a bald Zeus, yeah. One of our forefathers, founding forefathers. Learn something
He's
new
on
every day,
the
my
$2
friend.
bill.
You feel that, guys? This is the podcast sliding off the tracks already. We're like 45 seconds in.
Wait, there are
He's
tracks?
on the $2 bill?
I had no idea there were tracks.
Surprise!
Yeah, he's on the $2 bill, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I used to actually get those from the bank, $2 bills, and give them to people on their birthday. Not because I'm cheap, but because nobody that I know, or very few people that I know, actually used them or thought they existed back in the day. So that's pretty cool to be reminded of that. So, on to our much talked about iTunes reviews. I might as well jump into some more good stuff besides the holidays and the crazy things that we do for our iTunes reviews. We have a new iTunes review. Do you guys want to hear it?
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely.
11 now?
Yeah. Yes, we are up to 11, and our 11th review came from Pod Addict T. I was not able to track down who that is, but they're apparently addicted to podcasts. So thank you, Pod Addict T. Do you guys know who that is or recognize that name?
I do not. Nope.
Sounds like somebody we would want the approval of, though.
Yeah, I think so, too. I mean, if he's addicted to podcasts and he's reviewing us, he's a professional on such things. So, lost my train of thought for a second. If Pod Addict T, if you're listening, feel free to reach out to us because we have no idea who you are. Hopefully you're not one of those other podcasts that told us to trade reviews, because if you are, we didn't review your podcast. We're sorry. So
We will.
So reach out to us. But let's go ahead and get to his review. He titled his review, Great Show, with an exclamation point. Mark, not exclamation point, exclamation mark. So he really meant it, Mark. Lucas, Patrick, Mark, and Ronnie's show is one of the rare gems you're always looking for but can never seem to find. Aw. With expert audio quality, he must be only listening to the more recent ones, not the early ones. Listen to this.
Quotation fingers.
Wait, it gets better. A fantastic breadth of topics. I like that. And great banter between the hosts. This wholly original podcast will leave you longing for more. Stop reading my review and hit play already. My goodness, folks.
Whoa.
That's the best review I've ever heard.
That's good stuff right there.
That was a free review.
absolutely
We did
good
not pay anyone for that review. That is that's like print that baby out and put it on your wall review. That's very nice. Thank you so much, Pod Addict T, for your nice review.
Yes, thank you.
I may have slipped him a $2.
Fair enough. Speaking of that, Mark, did you confirm that Ben Franklin is not on the $2 bill?
I did, in fact, confirm he is not on the $2 bill. It's Thomas Jefferson.
Thank you very much. That's really, I mean, let's be honest, that's close enough. Thomas Jefferson,
Before anybody oops us, let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah. On our Discord, I think we have some kind of oops channel, but I don't think
it's
anyone's
called
used it
We
yet,
Wrong.
So.
We wrong.
Yeah, we wrong. So if you want to, anytime, this is a shout out to Discord. If anytime you want to call us out, you can do it on Twitter also. But on our Discord channel, we have a We Wrong channel, and you can call us out and tell us we're wrong. But for this one, we called ourselves out. Thank you, Mark, for showing us a $2 bill that our audio listeners could not see, to tell us that it was not Zeus that's on the $2 bill, but it's Poseidon. I think Thomas Jefferson, he invented running water in the United States. Thank you, Thomas Jefferson. We'll celebrate your birthday someday. Yeah, thank you.
Hashtag facts.
Facts. But anyways, this brings us to a total of 11 reviews. We just need 4 more. Only 3 if Mark would quit being so ashamed of us and just put a review up there. Once we get,
man, I need to do that.
You do.
I'm so sorry.
It's all good. Well, we're not taking it personally.
I love Lucas's little side jab. Just sneaks it right in there casually.
Poke it right in there. Once we get 15 reviews, once we get 15 reviews, I'll do something crazy. I still have no idea what it's going to be, but when we get closer, I will discuss it with the guys and do some brainstorming. We'll figure it out, and we'll keep the good times rolling. Finally, before what's new in the news, I want to offer a friendly reminder to make sure both new and old listeners connect with us in our community, as I've kind of already mentioned, and participate with us on the show by joining our free forum on the Discord. I guess we call it a forum. It's a free app.
I guess technically it would be a server on the app.
Yeah. So a free server app that you can get on. That's not confusing. And you can, it's really just like a super positive forum, not a foreign, chat room, where, we got a couple dozen folks who are a part of our community, and we just talk about all kinds of stuff. We help each other keep our New Year's resolutions, tell lots of dad jokes. But if you're not into weird apps that you don't really understand what they are, you can also link with us on Twitter and find us at the GMG Podcast. And finally, you can write us questions or give suggestions through email, thegoodmorningguys@gmail.com, or even call and leave a message by phone at 929-GMG-GUYS. That's a 929 and some numbers that spell GMG Guys. Fantastic. So without further ado, let's talk about what's been up in our lives. We have passed the normal fail date for resolutions. So how's that? And maybe some of you guys got some news and entertainment, video games, sports. Ronnie, tell me something good.
All right, New Year's resolutions. I have not moved since last week, so I'm still sitting on Infinity Wars. I got somewhere around 19 to 20 more. But not bad, though. I mean, today's only the 16th.
So, you got plenty of time.
Yeah, still doing pretty good. That's why I didn't watch one this week.
How about for the 14th time checking in on Superman? How's that going for you? Watch the trailer at least?
I did not make it around to that, actually.
All right, cool.
But other than that, not doing anything on my New Year's resolutions, I'm not currently failing. I'm just standing in a parallel spot.
Some call that procrastination, but you can also make it sound awkward.
Standing in a parallel spot. I like
Yes, something like that. So this week for me, a couple of things. I did play in a volleyball tournament, if you can believe that, and I did not win.
Oh,
but it was
sorry,
really fun.
man. I'm sure
The
you
real
tried your
winners
best,
are the
right?
kids who participate. I did try my best, but it was not good enough this time.
No, sorry to hear that, man. Did you at least get a little ribbon, participation ribbon or something?
Nope. I actually paid money and lost.
Oh man, ouch. All right.
Yep.
Oh well.
But I had fun.
You'll have that.
I had fun.
C'est la vie.
I also went to the casino this past weekend, and
Did you win?
won $50.
Nice.
Woohoo! There you go.
I know. I usually never walk out of there with any money.
Did that?
I was up like maybe $250 at some point, but I did leave with money.
All right. Cool.
And then lastly, I wanted to mention Rocket League again because we've been getting on there and playing like a couple nights a week. So if anybody wants to get on there and play, hit me up on Twitter, Discord, Facebook, whatever, and I will send you an invite. We just started a little GMG club on there, so I can shoot you the club invite, and
Nice.
if you guys want to get up and play together, we'll do that for sure.
Is any of that streamable?
Oh yeah, probably.
That would be cool. Pop
Absolutely.
it up
Try
on
and
the stream.
try and get a little better. I'm not great yet,
That's okay.
but
That's
other than that,
part of
my
the
week
journey.
My week was pretty normal, but yeah, man, Rocket League, I will tell you what a discovery of this game. I was like, this is awesome. I've been playing this like almost every night.
Who knew cars and overly sized soccer balls would be so fun together?
It's basically soccer with Hot Wheels,
Yeah, it's amazing.
and it's.
Can't
we all
recommend it
love Hot
enough.
Wheels.
Sounds about right.
But other than that, that was pretty much it for me. I didn't do anything else. What about you, Mark?
Okay, so major highlights, I guess, for my week. Definitely the fact that we had a little bit of the old snow come into this part of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as certain other places in the country. Like I know you guys in Ohio got some pretty significant snowfall. We got some snow, but it was more ice than anything else.
Yuck.
And yeah,
I do
so we
not miss
spent
that at all.
Yeah. I love snow, not a huge fan of the ice, but so the weekend was kind of really relaxed and just hanging out at home, inside, away from the snow and the ice. Church ended up being canceled, so we got a good couple of days of just relaxing, which was awesome.
Mark, I have to
but-
interject a question real quick. I want to have a moment of transparency. So, as a person who works in the church, and you kind of have pressure that goes along with, for you, church is different than for the regular Joe Blow on the street because you have a lot of responsibility. Do you ever feel guilty being happy that church got canceled, or maybe you don't feel like a sense of relief, like, oh, I actually have the day off? Have you ever had that experience when that's happened?
I don't feel guilty when church is canceled just because I know that, my pastor is making that call and he's looking out for the best interests of people coming and the safety of people coming. So do I feel bad? No, not really. Just because, yeah, it's a nice little welcome, day off. Especially for me, I drive an hour and change to get to church.
Yeah.
So
Wow, that's a distance.
it's not just church, it's driving time as well. And so, especially with really nasty weather out, I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah. I mean,
Which is nice.
I only ask because, when I lived in the U.S., I had a regular 9-to-5 job during the week, and then the weekend would come, and I was also a pastor or associate pastor or volunteer. And Sundays would come, and I can count on one hand my whole life the number of times church has been canceled. And I have to say there was at least once or twice where it was canceled, and I was like, oh, I have a day of rest for real now, So I'm just curious to see how you kind of felt when that happened.
Well, you and I are both human beings, and it's always nice to have a little bit of extra downtime.
Yeah.
We definitely understand the responsibility and the calling of being in, in ministry and church leadership and all that kind of stuff. But it's okay to, okay, that's one less thing, I can just kind of relax, and that's nice. And then you just pick it up next week. I was feeling a little conflicted just because I didn't want any of my feelings towards driving in the mess get conflicted with my responsibilities, and my pastor at first was I was like, well, can you get here at maybe 10:30 and we'll just cancel Sunday school? And I was like, I don't know. And I just and my wife was just like, no, I'm not. I don't want to go out in that.
Yeah.
So, and then finally, he called, and I told him, I said, I'm feeling a little conflicted. He said, you know what? I'm just gonna call it off. It's all good. So I was like, okay. I'm glad he made that decision. And apparently it was pretty bad. Like our street was like covered in ice and slush.
Yeah.
So I was glad we didn't have to go out.
Yeah.
But,
probably was a smart choice. Keep people safe.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. A couple days before that, we definitely were able to get some time in with Exploding Kittens, for sure. With the family, because we knew that the storm was coming in. So it's like, okay, we're probably not going to be able to hang out this weekend. So Friday night, let's go do our normal thing and try to fit in dinner and Exploding Kittens. So that was awesome. Basically, a lot of the week in my downtime was watching, if you're not familiar with it, something called Awesome Games Done Quick, or AGDQ. Mm-hmm. Basically, it's a big streaming marathon where all of these like top level video game speed runners, people who try to beat these video games quickly, they find exploits and glitches in games. They try to cut time wherever they can, and they try to get the fastest time of beating certain games. And so there's this whole week of them streaming, just people with world records for speed runs, actually playing these games live on stream to raise money. It's for an organization called, I believe it's the Prevent Cancer Association, something like that. It's basically in the name. It's an organization that tries to raise funds for treatment to sort of prevent, cancer, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And so it's very enjoyable to watch. Absolutely love catching all the awesome speed runs and all the ways that people can essentially break video games to get them done faster. And also there's a lot of that video games, like, when you download it, it's called the digital copy is called a ROM. Mm-hmm. And so there's ROM hacks where they basically are able to mess with the game and basically create an entirely new game with the existing assets in the game. Like, for example, they have what's called the Kaizo block, which is a bunch of Kaizo like NES games, typically Mario games, which they basically make it super difficult. And these guys speed run these games, and so it's awesome to watch these people play. And they raised almost $2.4 million.
Wow!
For this organization. So that was definitely awesome. As much as I could, I tried to watch. I actually supported as well. There's a t-shirt company I shared with you guys, the organization called the Yeti. That basically works with all these companies, or all these charities, and basically a portion of whatever funds they get from t-shirt sales, a portion of that goes to whatever charity. So I ordered a shirt from the Yeti, so
cool.
A portion of that will go to the organization. So
what games? Awesome. What was a game that you enjoyed watching on the Awesome Games Done Quick?
It's definitely awesome to catch the Super Metroid run, which is like the very last game they usually do. This time they do, and Metroid is basically, they basically coined the term Metroidvania, where you're able to go through different parts of the game and backtrack, and as you gain new abilities, you're able to go back and do different things and all that kind of stuff. Basically they did what's called reverse boss order.
I've heard of that.
Basically, the guy started from the hardest boss with the least amount of equipment possible. Like, he didn't get any of the extra suits or power-ups, but there are certain ways where he's been able to calculate what it would take to beat these enemies, and basically obviously this person has practiced quite a bit, and so he was able to accomplish the entire game basically in reverse.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
so
can't imagine.
It's definitely awesome to see.
I bet you he gets that first boss, which is for his run of the last boss, and just kind of blows on it, and it disintegrates into nothing.
Yeah, basically. That and any of the, like I said, the Kaizo games, like Kaizo Mario, Kaizo Super Mario, all those types of games where people have basically just completely reconfigured the game and made it like 10 times harder than the normal game is. And so it's always awesome to watch people play that. So,
Mark, now in watching this, have you felt any inkling of a desire to kind of do any speedrunning yourself?
No, not at all.
Really? Because I don't know. After these past couple weeks, I think you could do a speedrun of My Little Riding Champion. That would be sweet.
No, we want to take our time with that. We want to enjoy the hilarity that is My Little Riding Champion, which, just a segue, well, actually, no, I have more in my week before that. So, yeah, I'm gonna hold it over you for a moment.
Fair enough.
So I did a little bit of the adulting thing as well this past week. So we bought a couch, which is exciting, I guess, for us.
Yeah, it is.
Couches are nice.
But, yeah. This one has like built-in like plugs and USB cords and stuff like that, or not cords, but inputs.
It's like an octopus couch. Like, there's all these cords coming out of it. It's like Doc Ock the sofa.
It's the sequel to Octodad. It's OctoCouch.
Nice. I like it.
No, it has like all sorts of inputs and stuff like that, and it's a reclining couch, so it's got reclining chairs in it. So that comes on Friday, so that'll be awesome. On the gaming front, obviously, streamed part 2 of My Little Riding Champion, and it was much more of the same ridiculousness as in part 1. A lot of leveling up my horse and stuff like that, which I was actually getting a better handle on, wouldn't you say, Patrick? Because you were there watching.
Yeah, except for that one part where it glitched on you, and you couldn't select anything, and then you had to replay stuff you already played, which was...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, yes. I bet you that was awesome. An awesome feeling. Who wouldn't want to play it again?
So the game crashed, which was awesome.
I never would have thought that would happen.
That literally looked like a game that you could not complete fast. You had to like go slow through every single obstacle.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, if you wanted to, can you slam through the... Not slam through, but like click through the audio? Like them talking, be like... yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you can. And I started doing
Did
that.
you?
For sure,
I
'cause it's
can't
like,
imagine
Well, it was
why.
funny.
This doesn't matter.
There was one point where you did that, and you're like, what am I supposed to do? And the chat was like, maybe listen to her next time.
Yeah, and then I couldn't finish the stupid mission because it was
Yeah.
glitching. And then the game crashed. And so I had to do that whole thing again.
It was probably mad at you for skipping the dialogue.
Yeah,
Way to
I
hurt its
suppose. I'm
feelings.
sorry. Sorry, Rebecca, I didn't listen to you.
No,
I'm
you
so
didn't say the
sorry.
name right. You need to be like, sorry, Rebecca.
Oh, okay. Bye. Yeah, it was more of the same. But unfortunately, well, the good thing is I streamed on the Good Morning Guys Twitch channel, which for those who enjoy watching Twitch, you should definitely follow us.
Yeah.
And catch our regular streaming because we're going to try to stream some more. But I streamed on the Good Morning Guys Twitch channel, but unfortunately, archiving streams was not turned on.
Yeah, was that the
I was
first
so
time that we had
sad when I
streamed
found that out.
from that account?
No,
that's
it was the second time.
Oh,
I had streamed
yeah, that's
once.
right, because Lucas did it.
Oh.
But
Okay.
I did not check my video. I had been streaming on mine before, so I just assumed it was.
Default.
I assumed. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It's my fault. Yeah, I'll take the blame on that one.
But
Well,
in any case,
and I got the raw end of it too because I missed it because I was traveling and I totally was. I was the first thing I was going to do when I got home was going to pop that on the TV and watch the archived video because my kids, they were very quite intrigued. They wanted to know what was going to happen with that bearded guy that was playing that girly game.
Yeah, you'll just have to wait till part
Virginia.
3 and watch that one.
I guess so. I mean, he has no choice now, right?
which, by the way,
Got to find that ghost.
Yeah, definitely got to find
You
that
all-
ghost. I thought we were gonna encounter the ghost because there was a portion like I found there's like a beach in the game where like it started making this like really haunting noise, and I'm like, are we gonna find the ghost? Is this the ghost? And then it turned out to be nothing. So I was like, okay, maybe it comes later. So, part 3 of My Little Riding Champion is at 3 p.m.
Yes.
Eastern this Saturday.
Nice. All
Bring
right.
it.
So
3 weeks
Can't
in a
wait.
row playing
So-
My Little Riding Champion. Man, you are killing this challenge.
Yeah, you are.
yep, I'm leaning into it, I suppose.
Awesome.
But but in addition to that masterpiece of a game, I also was playing some Celeste. I started picking up Celeste. And right now, I haven't beaten it yet. I'm in chapter 5. Yeah, it's a ridiculously hard game, but it's still very enjoyable to me. I'm used to that kind of stuff because, like, I was a big fan of Ori and the Blind Forest.
Thornfeld
and I
Swamp.
absolutely love that game. Yeah, there it is.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Or in the Bayou Forest. Part 14. Thornfeld Swamp.
Thornfeld Swamp.
Thornfeld Swamp.
And that probably sounded just as
Hashtag
beautiful.
that's my Thornfeld Swamp.
That's right. Sounded just as beautiful as it used to on the Married to the Games podcast. Showed out.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just got used to the fact that like you're gonna die a lot. That's just the nature of the game. In fact, like with Celeste, it points out to you at the end of every level how many times you actually died. But otherwise, like I'm enjoying the story so far. As somebody who deals with anxiety and stuff like that, you know, it's definitely something that hits close to home. And Pat, I know you've been playing, so you might talk about this later. Yeah, like the story hit real close to home for me, and I've been absolutely enjoying it. And plus, I like the puzzle element of the game, where yeah, you die a lot and there's a lot of platforming, but there's also a lot of like puzzle solving as well, and I enjoy that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've absolutely been loving the game so far. So
Cool, man.
But
Nice.
that is basically my week. So speaking of Pat, how's your week, man?
Yeah. So this past weekend, we got a ton of snow. So there was a lot of stuff that we did inside. We also hung out outside. You know, we did the building snowmans, doing snowball fights and sledding and all that. Hot chocolate, all that stuff that you do outside with kids when it snows. But we also, you know, because we only stayed outside for an hour or so. And then we came in, we did a lot of stuff inside. My son, he got, you know, I think it was like 10 puzzles. And they're like, you know, like those, you know, 25-piece puzzles, 24-piece puzzles. So we put a lot of puzzles together while we were inside. My daughter, she made people out of blankets. And it is creepy.
Yeah, I was just gonna, that was the exact word that came to mind when you said, because it's not like they can stand up; they're all just laying down, right?
She
It's just-
she was like,
did
"Come,
she,
Daddy,
prop them up on stuff?
Yeah, come look at these people I made out of blankets." I'm like, What? I couldn't wrap my head around it. And then she showed me, and I just immediately thought of like a horror movie or one of those scary movies. And one night they're just gonna be walking around. But it's. She said she just watched a YouTube video and she learned how to do them. So she made 4 of them. So that was kind of cool. She's very crafty.
I think you need to be screening some of the stuff she's watching on YouTube.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, she's on YouTube Kids.
Creepy blanket people.
She's only allowed to watch the channels that we allow her to subscribe to. So which is it's just fine. So we did that. We paid for our Disney trip, which we're going to next month. Ooh. So February 15th, we are heading out to Disney. And Spencer Stapleton and his family are actually going to be down there too. Same resort, so that's going to be pretty cool to hang out.
Street team,
yeah, awesome. Right. So I don't know how much we're going to be hanging out with him, because we have all different schedules. But I think I don't know how big the resort is. That would be crazy if we are like one door down from them. Like what are the odds?
So cool.
So so that'll be fun. So we paid for that. My wallet hit, got a big hit. So, but it's fine. We'll get our tax returns coming up, and then we'll pay for it all. But that's pretty much.
Do your kids each have like favorite Disney characters?
My daughter, she likes.
Like, are they looking forward to seeing like one character more?
She liked the blanket people in
like
Beauty
Little
and the
Mermaid.
Beast.
It's the blanket people.
You didn't see those in the background with
that needs to be a scary movie
dancing
for sure.
around and singing.
The blanket people. But I think like Little Mermaid. She likes Moana. My son really likes the Toy Story. And Cars. Cars is pretty much his number one, so he loves that.
Good man, Clark. Nice. Good man. I bet you he likes Wall-E a lot too.
No, I won't let him watch that trash.
You would. Haters gotta hate.
It's like absolutely not.
No, but I do need to watch Cars 1 and 2. I've seen 3 with him because I think that's on Netflix right now, or it was.
You watched 3 without watching 1 and 2? Come on, Patrick.
I know they're talking
There's
cars.
Continuity.
It's fine. Yeah.
No. Pixar doesn't just do that. They give you a real story, and once you watch it all through again, you might just.
I'm just gonna do the Cars in 5 minutes YouTube video.
Oh gosh, just stop. Stop it.
No, I'll watch them. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my week. I did a bit of gaming this week. I did some serious gaming.
Just a bit.
My buddy came over.
2019 is the year of Patrick and gaming.
It is.
You're a beast.
So Friday night, Chris came over and we played Madden like we normally do. But we also played this new game I got is called Farpoint, and Farpoint is like a first-person shooter. And I got this aim controller, and this aim controller is like a gun. So you hold it in front of you while you're standing. And where you aim the gun is going to be where you're aiming in the game. So if you want to turn left, you move your head left, and you move your gun to the left, and it tracks your movement. So it was, and every time you shoot the gun, the gun rumbles. So it feels like you're actually shooting the gun. It's unlike like Beat Saber. Like Beat Saber, I can play for like 5 hours straight, and I have done that, and I don't get sick, I don't get disoriented or anything. But this VR game, Farpoint, you have to walk while you're shooting, and I could only pretty much play for about 40 minutes max before I got a little disoriented or lightheaded that I needed to take the headset off. So my buddy and I, we would play. I would say play 10-15 minutes, and then we would trade off. And yeah, it's a fun game, and I think there are 2 other games like this, like Call of Duty style games, where it's first person shooter in VR, that I'm gonna need to check out because I'm having so much fun with this game. I think I'm about halfway.
Are you sure it
halfway
wasn't
through.
the spiders that were
Oh,
making you a little
dude, yeah,
queasy?
and it's crazy because
I've heard about those spiders.
those spiders are like, they're crawling on the ground and they're jumping after you. And then those are the small spiders. I mean, there's all sizes of spiders. There's huge, like building tall spiders that are coming after you. And it gets kind of, crazy, and you start to sweat. Your blood starts pumping because in VR, I mean, it really feels like they're right in front of you.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
That is a nice heaping hot plate of head.
Yeah, I didn't know there were
I agree,
spiders
that
in
sounds
this game.
scary.
No, and I was like, no,
Oh,
what did
man.
I get myself into? But bones aren't quitters, and I'm gonna finish the game.
That's fake news. Fake news.
Yeah, there are
Helldivers,
exceptions,
my friend.
Yeah,
Helldivers, case in
yeah,
point.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
yeah.
So we did that, and then I played Celeste like Mark. However, I beat the game. I was through
Congrats.
5 chapters, and I was like, this is an okay game. I was getting kind of frustrated with how many times I've died. I died about 1,200 times in that game by the time I had beaten it. And there were certain parts where it was tough. But like Mark said, the story is where that game really shines. And the reasons why you're dying really plays into the story. And it really hit me personally, the story of Celeste. And I'm not going to go into any spoilers about what Celeste, what the narrative is behind Celeste. If you do want to find out, you can message me. But yeah,
just
it was.
tell him she's a kleptomaniac. You can talk about it.
Yeah, she's part of the Wet Bandits. She.
Yeah, Wet Bandits strike again.
You're sick, Marv. You're sick.
Celeste
You're
the
sick.
Klepto, the female member of the Wet Bandits.
But yeah,
That was a beautiful shout out, Patrick.
Yeah, chapter 6 was really when the story really had hit me personally, and it all came together. And at that point, I had to pause the game and step away from it because it was just bringing back memories from 3 years ago for me. So I had stopped and I put the game down for like 3 days, and I couldn't go back to it. And then I had a conversation with a couple people, and kind of get my feelings out in the air and talk it out. And then I went back to Celeste and beat it. And after I beat it, I was like, man, I can see why this game was garnering the Game of the Year awards in 2018. Judging a book by its cover, you're like, oh, this is a 2D side scroller. It looks like it's from regular Nintendo days, and you're just like, I don't, it doesn't look like it would be Game of the Year, and because 2D side scrollers aren't my thing, and that's one of the reasons why I never picked it up. I know Jared Orr and Jeff Swan, they were like, you need to play this. They were the guys that were pumping this game up, and I'm like, nah. But then it came out for Xbox Game Pass, and I'm like, well, why not? Why not try this out? And I'm so glad I did, because this game is it's only January 15th, January 16th. It is my number 1 game of the year so far.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that.
You
So
think
it's good.
you think it could last to the end of the year?
I don't know. I mean, Resident Evil 2 is coming out. There's Days Gone. There's what is it?
The Quiet Man 2. I think that's coming out
The
this
Quiet
year.
Man 2. No. But the end of the Walking Dead
Even quieter.
final season is coming out next month. So there's a lot of games coming up. So we'll see. But yeah, go ahead.
Patrick, did you end up using any of the assists, or did you do it completely without?
So I didn't know that there were assists until I was watching Ed's stream of Celeste. He's not very good at platformers, and he turned on assist mode, and apparently there's like 5 different assists that you can put on there. Like there's like invincibility, you can slow down the game speed, you can have unlimited dashes. I'm like, what? I didn't know anything about this. I'm in chapter 7, and I'm just getting frustrated. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to beat this game without the assist. And I beat the game without the assist. And I went back. I was like, what is
Nice.
you with the assist? You're just flying around doing, like. It didn't. If I would have played the game with assist mode on from the beginning, I don't think it would have had that big of an impact on me. If I did that, so I'm glad I didn't do that.
Good on you for going.
Yeah,
No doubt.
and then I played a little bit of Onrush.
Yeah,
and
you
I
did.
platinumed that bad boy.
Whoop.
I played a
Hardcore
little bit of
Hollywood
Beat
Bones.
Saber. And I
And?
platinumed that bad boy. And then I
Oh,
played a little bit of Burly Men at Sea.
Yeah, you did. Oh man.
And I platinumed
That's so
that bad
funny.
boy.
That's a thing.
I'm pretty
So-
sure you made fun of me last year when I got the platinum for that.
Burly Men at Sea. Just the name of it. I'm like, what is that game? But I saw that
It's
it was
as
like an hour and a
awkward
half
as it
platinum.
sounds.
And I was going to be at my, I had to take my daughter to dance on Monday night. And it's an hour and a half. She has 2 classes, 45 minutes each. And I'm like, sweet, I'm going to bring my Vita and I'm going to get the platinum on this. And I think I got about 90% of the trophies there. And then I came home.
Yeah, it's a little
and
closer
finished.
to 2 hours.
Yeah, and then I finished the platinum. Yeah, it took about 2 hours for me. But yeah, so I got 3 platinums this past week. And I'm working on Order 1886 right now. I booted that up about an hour before we started this podcast, so I'm in Chapter 3. I don't know how many chapters there are, but I have my little trophy guide for that one. I played
Yeah.
that when it first came out. I gameflied that one, and I don't really remember much of it, so it's kind of cool going back to it now as I'm going through the trophies. So yeah, that's my week.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Lucas? What's up with you?
Well, let's see. My family is still on vacation. This is their last full week of vacation with me. My kids and wife are enjoying the summer with me all together here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Let's see. This past weekend, we did some traveling, which is, as I mentioned earlier, which is unfortunately why I missed Marc's stream of My Little Pony, Adult Edition. And let's see. Besides the traveling, on Monday we went swimming. The school that my wife
Brag
teaches
about
at and kids go to. I know, right? We went swimming in the nice hot weather. No snow, no ice. It was
You
glorious.
shush when you're talking to me.
Okay, I'll just direct these towards Ronnie and Marc. Unless they shush me, then I'll just talk to myself. But besides swimming, we also... someone had given us boomerangs the other day. I don't know how much experience you guys have with boomerangs.
Is that like a
But
gift
just randomly-
that you give in Brazil? Like, hey, you know
guess.
what these people need? Boomerangs.
They need boomerangs. It was totally random. A dude from my church, he just was like, you think your kids would like these? I'm like, I don't know. Sure, why not? So he gave me like 2 traditional boomerangs and then one of those 3-pronged boomerangs that it's still called a boomerang, but it looks like a ninja star.
Is a ninja star only
So-
3-pronged?
I mean, there are 3-pronged ninja stars. Have you ever played Ninja Gaiden? They have 3-pronged ninja stars in there.
Okay. Are they small and like jagged, or are they like rounded at the end?
No, they're rounded. No animals or people were hurt during our boomeranging. No, they're probably like as big as a plate, like a medium to large sized plate,
Okay.
I would say. So
Yeah, those 3-prong ones are actually called troomerangs.
for real?
Nope. Liar.
No, not at all.
Okay, fake news. Yeah, I was about to say we've called you out on fake news in the past, Marc, and then you've flashed your Google screen, your cell phone screen to us and proved us wrong. But yeah, that definitely
fake
sounded
news.
very weird. Thank you for that fake news. That was very nice. But my kids finally remembered that we had boomerangs, and we took them out, threw them around. And my kids were definitely not naturals with them. Have you guys ever thrown a boomerang before?
Yeah,
Anyone?
30 years ago.
30 years ago? How old were you? 7, 6? 3?
Oh, I was 5. I remember it vividly. I'm like, these don't come back to me.
3.
and then it smacked you in the face.
Yeah, sure.
I've never used a boomerang before.
Well, they're definitely.
I mean,
not.
do you get it to actually like come back to you?
I actually
throw it
It's
right?
like the most dangerous of all the
If
toys.
you throw it right, we threw them for about a good 15-20 minutes, and by the end, I was getting it to come back within probably 10 feet of me, 5 to 10 feet. I almost hit my wife once, and it was good times. And so we did that for a little bit. Then I also brought our little mini drone that I got the family for me for real for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I finally let my kids fly it, and within 5 minutes, my
On the
daughter
roof.
ran the drone into my wife's leg and cut her.
Oh,
And,
Oh,
and my son made it fly like it was a good thing we were in a field, because if we hadn't, it would have like gone into a tree. It would have gone onto a roof, like you said, Pat. My son just like panicked, and he just held down the button, and the drone just was like, "Shoo!" and it just started flying away. And I'm like, "Stop! Stop! Stop!" So that was fun. They both got about 5 minutes, and we
Cool.
paid for it pretty much. It was good times.
Yeah.
No, it was really fun, and we were in a good open field. And even though my wife got cut, it wasn't like bleeding cut. It was just she had a little welt. It left a little welt on her leg. So, yeah, it happens. If it's gonna happen to anyone, my wife would say it would happen to her. And then, other than that, my wife and I continued phase 2 of the MCU challenge in-game prep for April. We watched Guardians of the Galaxy, and man, the music in that movie, amazing.
yeah.
And the jokes are just so classic. I love that's really, to me, that's when the MCU started to kind of get a real sense of humor, was with Guardians of the Galaxy. I really like, and Ronnie, this is for you to listen to. If you're like still kind of dragging your feet with the MCU movies that you haven't watched really yet, you can just go ahead and start with Guardians of the Galaxy, because it is going to be your kind of humor. I think we've already told you this already, but I just love the way that they've pretty much set up that other than Earth, the rest of the universe could care less. Like everything's a joke to the rest of the universe, and it is so funny, and I love it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, I actually like in the Infinity Wars movie that I liked, like those characters were like the funniest characters out of all of them. So it did make me want to watch that first. I did look for it on Netflix, and apparently Guardian of the Galaxy 1 is not on there. They only have the second one on there. So,
Really?
That's why I did not watch it.
Huh. Well, in Brazil they have Guardians of the Galaxy 1, so I can Twitch stream it if you want, and then you can watch it through the Twitch stream. Just let me know.
I might have to do that.
You won't
I have
do that.
it.
That's a lie.
I'll just let you have it.
I'll trade you straight up for Superman. Right now.
Wow. Oh, jeez.
But no, that I thought those characters were hilarious. I really do actually want to watch those.
Yeah, you definitely should watch them. The music and the jokes, classic. Good stuff. Besides that, we just tonight we closed out the phase 2 by watching Age of Ultron, and it was still good. I think there are quite a few people that think that Age of Ultron is their least favorite Avengers, and I guess if I think about it, Age of Ultron is probably my least favorite too. But I think it just kind of sets up for Civil War. Like, there's a lot of interchanges between Captain America and Tony Stark that it's like, oh, okay, we're gearing up for Civil War. And it's also proof that for a lot of these movies, for a lot of this time period, the Avengers just kind of shoot themselves in the foot often. But it also provides a lot of character development. So I appreciated it all in the same breath,
Sure.
On the continuing the family front, my son has had a very traumatic week. He, from New Year's Eve, I think I'd mentioned on one of the last podcasts that on New Year's Eve and New Year's night, he panicked from all the fireworks, and since then he has developed a very severe fear of lightning and rain. More the lightning than the rain. I think the association, like, he just now is lumping fireworks, rain, and lightning are all bad, and thunder, I guess. It's not really lightning, but he has gotten to the point now where every night he's like, "Can you check the weather? This is this is a 6-year-old boy, and he's
Yeah.
asking his parents
Wow.
to check the weather for him. And it doesn't, I don't know why he asks, because it doesn't even help him. If we tell him it's all good, then he's like, yeah, the rain's still coming. I know it. You're liars. He doesn't say it like that, but that's what he's thinking. And like a night like tonight, it actually predict like a 30-40% chance of rain. There's no rain yet. But once we told him there was a chance of rain, he was struggling to go to sleep. But he's been having a hard time with that. Patrick, have your kids had any fear issues, severe fear issues with anything?
No. They actually love lightning and thunder.
Yeah.
My wife, she loves lightning storms. She always goes outside. Even if it's raining, she's gonna go outside on our porch and she's gonna watch them. And the kids love to go out there and watch it too.
Yeah. I've tried to do that with my kids.
Yeah. I could care less. Like I've been out there a couple times with my wife watching the lightning. I mean, if it's gonna be consistent lightning, like every 10 seconds kind of lightning, then I'll go out there and watch it. But if I have to sit there and wait, a minute or two between lightning strikes, that's just, I get bored pretty quickly with that.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, for my son, I think it all comes down to the fact that he's just got super sensitive hearing. I've heard, and it's mainly been from my wife who's done research on such things, but I've heard that redheads in general have a very high sensitivity to things. Like studies have been done that that have shown that redheads, for whatever reason, have a higher level of sensitivity to sounds and to feelings and emotions and those kind of things.
What about red beards, Ronnie?
No, I don't have sensitivity or extra sensitivity to anything, I feel like. So
Fair enough.
Apparently
So,
got to have a full head of red hair.
so red beard, good. Redhead.
For the people who do not
bad.
know, I have blonde hair, but my beard is like a tint of red all the time. So, and I feel like it gets darker as I get older.
Yeah, I also have a little red in my beard as well, but my hair's brown, so it doesn't show up as much. But my son, he like where we used to live in Achibaya, we lived in an apartment complex that had multiple apartment complexes along the road, and so when cars would drive by or people would walk by with flip-flops, I think I've told you guys before, you could hear the sound, and he would, especially when cars or motorcycles would go by, he would cover his ears with his hands. So he has got super sensitive hearing, and actually he's proven it. Sometimes my wife and I have been talking in the kitchen, and my son's been in the dining room, and my son has responded to some of the things we've said to each other. He's got
man, he could hear everything.
He's got supersonic hearing. So this thunder has been affecting him very badly. The other traumatic thing that happened is he lost a second tooth, and it was quite the situation. So I think Sunday or Monday it got loose, and he just started to panic. He was afraid he was going to swallow it. He was afraid it was going to hurt. And then yesterday morning, he woke up, and the tooth was literally perpendicular to the rest of his teeth.
Oh, whoa.
It had turned sideways, and instead of him just letting us touch it so it would fall out, because that's all we literally needed to do was to touch the tooth, he instead held his mouth open like this for literally half the day. Half the day he held his mouth open. He talked like this most of the day, and he would constantly, every 5 or 10 seconds, he would go on. Because he couldn't swallow his spit. It was absolutely ridiculous. And it took everything within me not to take more pictures of him and film it, because I was afraid I would then post it on Facebook and scar him for life. But he just was completely so afraid of what was going to happen. Now eventually I gave him a cutoff point, and I said, okay, by this time, son, if you don't take care of this, we're going to take care of this for you. And so the time came, and he wouldn't do it. So I said, give me a hug. And I gave him a big bear hug. And my wife came over and with a paper towel, and she just grabbed it and popped it out within a second. It took nothing. Well, of course, as soon as she popped it out, he was like, is it bleeding? And it was bleeding. And it bled a little bit more than it should have. But he said it didn't hurt. And he survived. Now he's happy. The tooth dude visited him last night, and he got his little certificate.
Tooth dude?
Yes. So with my kids, My daughter gets visited from the Tooth Fairy, and my son gets visited from the Tooth Dude, and he gets a little certificate that has a Guy Fairy on it, and their little certificates.
Nice.
For every ticket, it kind of represents a toy or a thing you can do. If they keep them, like if they collect 4 or 5, I guess we do a bigger event, like take them to McDonald's in a movie or something like that. Instead of just giving them straight up money, we give them certificates, because the certificates say like what the date was and where they lost a tooth and that kind of stuff. So that was the fun with my kids.
Cool.
So on the gaming front, I finished the campaign on hard for Strider, and this Monday, January 21st, I will be getting the platinum live on stream by doing a speed run of the game. So for all you Twitch watchers, you can join me starting around 5:30 p.m. It's going to take me a little around 4 hours. The trophy says I have to do it under 4 hours, and after playing through it on hard and collecting pretty much everything, it took me like 6 hours to do that, and I ran around looking for some of these collectibles for a long time. So I'm pretty sure I'll be able to do it, unless I totally choke and screw things up. I think I should be able to do it in under 4 hours, but I'm going to start around 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Monday, January 21st. Put it in your calendars. Join me. We'll chat, and I will get that plat for Strider.
If you pause the game, does that count towards the timer?
No,
because I'm
I've already
assuming
checked,
that you're going to want to eat,
which is very good.
And stuff.
No, I'm fasting. I'm going straight up, not drinking, not going to the bathroom. I'm going to sit there. I'm not even going to blink. No, I'm just kidding. That is unhealthy, isn't it? No, I'm going to blink. But no, it'll be, it'll be 5:30 for you guys, but actually for me it'll be 8:30. So I'm going to put the kids to bed, and then I'm just going to play until I do it and get it done.
Awesome.
I did test the pausing thing, and it does not affect the time, which I was very glad to see, because when I played it on hard the first time, I missed one collectible. Like, I collected all of these large canisters that are energy canisters. I collected all but one. I missed one accidentally because it started a cutscene, and I didn't realize it would. And if I would have started it over, it would have taken me so far back. I couldn't handle it mentally. So I just said, you know what, I'm going to just... But they're not really hard to collect. They show up on the map, and I'll know better next time. And I'm going to play it on normal. I'm not going to play it on hard. So it should be easier. Besides that, I also finished the challenges and the main campaign for Onrush with my buddy Patrick.
Yeah.
For those that, we've talked about it before. It was a free and very fun PS Plus racing game that has some Overwatch overtones to it. Did that the other day. I just have a couple trophies left. I plan to get some of those trophies, but then next Monday night, January 28th, I'm going to be streaming again, and this time I'm going to be breaking open about 50 or more gear boxes. Those are like loot boxes for Onrush, and during that time I'm also going to be telling 50 or more dad jokes.
Nice. Yes.
The sequel, Patrick started it. I'm going to continue it. So we're going to
it.
be doing some dad jokes, some gear boxes.
Very nice.
Maybe Marc or Patrick would like to join. If Ronnie wants to buy a PS4 in the next week and a half, he could also join us. That would be sweet. So I'll be doing that in a week and a half. Also, my kids and I are about to finish Lego The Hobbit game, and we are knocking on the door to Erebor and to pay a little visit to our good old dragon buddy Smaug. And my son is so pumped to go see Smaug. He loves dinosaurs and dragons alike, whether they breathe fire and are fictitious or were real. He loves big giant lizards, so he's very excited about that. As I've been playing the Hobbit game, I've been reminded of the movies, and I'm sure maybe some of you have seen the movies. Have you guys seen the movies, the Hobbit movies?
Yes.
Now, have you guys?
I have.
Okay, Ronnie, I was going to say, if you're just going to shake your head, that's not going to help the listeners know if you're saying yes or no.
I am just going to throw it out there that earlier you said my son held his mouth like this, but nobody can actually see you.
Touche, my friend. You got me there. Way to call me out 10 minutes after.
We are even.
We are even. No, we're not. No. Until you watch Superman, we are never even, my friend. Never even. But, so, have you guys also read the book, The Hobbit books?
Nope.
Negative.
All right. Mark, have you? Movies or books?
I have read bits and pieces of The Hobbit. We kind of had to read it for during middle school, and I couldn't get through the whole book. There's a lot of like singing and stuff.
Well, you don't have to sing along. You just read through it and move on. But fair enough. So I've read the books and I've watched the movies. Now I'm playing the games and I'm being reminded that I do not like the movies. They took a single book and they tried to apply a formula to it that they used for The Lord of the Rings, which is literally 3 books. And so they made 3 movies. Well, The Hobbit is 1 book, and they made 3 movies. And they embellished this thing. They took story arcs from other time periods in Middle-earth lore. They created a romance between a dwarf and an elf. They shoehorned Sauron into the story, which my son was very excited to see. And while the game is still really fun and I enjoy it, it reminds me of how uncomfortable I was with their interpretation of the book, and it made me realize that they had changed the story and truly put this Michael Bay treatment to an otherwise nice and heartwarming adventure. Oh, and also the opposite of that dwarf elf love triangle with Legolas, who really was unnecessary to the movie.
A dwelf.
A dwelf. Yeah, it really was a dwelf love triangle. We're now creating a name for it. It's a dwelf love triangle. It was so awkward and so uncomfortable. They kind of brush over it quickly in the game, but even my kids looked at me, and my daughter's like, "Did that dwarf and elf like each other?" And I just looked at her. I'm like, "Don't worry about it. We're moving on. No dwarf love in this house, so we don't like that kind of stuff." But I digress. Actually, I don't digress, because awkwardness, uncomfortableness, that's exactly what we're talking about today. So let's jump into our topic. Let's talk about our pet peeves, talk about the realities of life. Sometimes life doesn't go our way. And tonight we are talking all about it. So ready or not, here we come. We got pet peeves, we got situations in our lives that make us uncomfortable. We have moments that either we instigate or others instigate that are totally and purely awkward. And so to start out this topic, I want to start things out with a game of Would You Rather.
Oh, nice. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. AKA 21st Century Presidential Election Game.
Oh,
How do you like that political joke? That's the last time I'll make a political joke during this show. For those that are political, I'm sorry. For those that are not, how about them apples? Okay, so would you rather? Let's jump right into it, guys. There are no rules to this game. We're not actually playing the game. We're not going to keep score as much as I wanted to. I just want you guys to give your honest answer. Feel free to share any anecdotes or struggles you have. Some of these are easy. Some of these are hard. Some of these are very, very uncomfortable. So, Mark, Pat, and Ronnie, would you rather have a dog with a cat's personality or a cat with a dog's personality?
Cat with the dog, for sure.
Yeah, definitely cat with a dog personality.
Mark?
Yeah, I would definitely say a cat with a dog personality.
100%.
Hands down.
Cat with a dog personality, hands down. Now, I have to say, I have personal experience with this. I have not just met a cat with a dog's personality. It also had thumbs, which made it the coolest cat I've ever met in my life.
Oh, so it could play games with you?
It
Little
totally
couch
could play
co-op?
games. The problem
Flush
was
the toilet.
the cat's name was Spooky. Yeah, it could also flush toilets. The cat's name was Spooky, and he jumped because of everything, but he was just like a dog. He would go up to you, let you rub its belly, and he had thumbs. It was awesome.
That's
He was
wild.
an awesome cat. wildness. Well, that was the easy one because I figured we would all choose that. But all right, our second situation is this: would you rather speak and understand all languages, or speak and understand all animals?
Animals.
Definitely animals.
Mark?
Animals, for sure. Yeah, I think I would go with that.
I'm going to be the black sheep of the group. I'm definitely going with understanding and speaking all languages. For one, there's so many good things you can do by understanding all languages. Being an ambassador, helping people through cultures and across cultures and everything. And two,
Yeah, but
animals, wait, just let me make point two and then you can shoot me down, okay? What do animals have to say? I pooped in the kitchen.
Have you ever seen
sniffed
Dr. Dolittle?
a butt. Yes, that is not real. And animals do not
but
think
this
cool
is you
stuff
just
like
did
that.
the would
They
you rather.
think
It's
Yeah, the situation is real that we just came up with? Thought we were on Fantasy Island still.
nope, this is real island. This is real talking with animals or all languages. But
so people
wanted to throw
already
that out there since
there's
I
a
was
lot
all
of
in.
there's a lot of people already out there that speak a lot of languages that are ambassadors.
but all
there is
languages?
nobody can understand animals and speak their language. So you'd
Okay.
be the first
pretty
one,
cool.
the only one to be doing this. You know
I
how
guess.
awesome.
King
but-
of animals.
I don't know if that'd be awesome. Because what
Well,
you're going to tell people, you're going to be like, well, that dog just told me that you picked your nose. And they're going to be
You'd
like,
be like Aquaman, but on the
What?
land.
yeah, but they don't have to do what you say. They could just totally shoot you down. And instead of like them barking at you, they're going to be like, I'm going to eat your face. And you're going to be even more scared of them.
What animals are you having? Good night.
Welcome to the city of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Lots of stray dogs.
Rabid dogs,
stray
apparently.
pigeons. Fair enough. All right.
Stray pigeons.
You gotta watch out for them stray pigeons. All right, third one. Would you rather switch your eyes with your mouth or your ears with your nose?
So do I have two mouths
Yes.
and one eye?
And one eye.
Yeah, so you can,
One poke in the eye and you're done then.
multitask. Yeah, but Cyclops was a very feared, he was a much feared mythological creature. And he
Yeah,
had
but we
one
don't
eye.
get any extra special powers, right? Just the switch.
Yeah, but you got two mouths, you can multitask.
But if I drip something, it goes into my eye, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so if you're a really sloppy eater, you're going to get all that
How
in
many
your
times do you miss your mouth?
Oh, that would be bad.
So with the two noses and one ear, I guess you would say that.
You have one
Whole nother thing I never
one
thought of.
one nose on the front, and then you've got the. No, you already have a nose on the front. It's got to be your bull. Shoot.
Yep.
You'd have the one ear.
Two noses, one on each
Thank
side.
you. Two noses. Yeah. You know what he said.
I'd switch the eyes and mouth.
Yeah, the eyes and
Eyes and
mouth,
the
because
mouth.
I already have allergies. I don't want two types of allergies in my nose, so no thanks. I don't have to blow both noses. So would I have two sets of teeth? So then,
Yes. Uh-huh.
okay.
It's going to cost you way more money at the dentist.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I think I'm going to go with nose and ears cuz I already feel like they're already kind of similar orifices, if that makes sense. They're very similar and they're not the same, and you're going to look like a vampire bat with your ear on the front of your face, and you're going to look really funny with your nose kind of poking out the side of your head. But I think the location of your eye down below and your double mouths, I don't know, it seems too complicated.
I feel like an ear would block your vision.
Well, I don't have very big ears, so I think it'd be okay.
If I'm gonna have one ear, that's got to be like the ear's got to have like the best hearing possible. Because like obviously everybody uses both their ears.
How would
Well,
you wear
everybody who
headphones?
can hear.
You couldn't play any game in headphones. You couldn't do any game with headphones
Yeah,
at all.
you could. You just one would be wasted because it'd sit on the back of your head, and then the other headphone would go on the front of your face.
Also, I'm just going to throw it out there
You'd
because
look-
you only have one ear. If you get an ear infection, you're not going to be able to hear a thing.
Okay, but
You're not going to have the other ear.
if you only have one eye, you're not going to play a lot of sports very well because you're not going to have that three-dimensional thing going.
You know what they say?
You're
You
gonna
know, keep your eye on the ball. You know, it's like you got it.
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
have to change things.
That's what the pirates used to say to each other back in
Hold
the
on.
day.
you had
There's,
one-
there's a spider running around here. I gotta go kill it.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
playing that game again?
Hold on.
Do it. Kill it. Oh, gosh.
Oh, microphone's down and everything.
Kill that
Ah.
spider. Speaking of that, yesterday another cockroach crawled through my living room again, and I very much
Oh,
killed it.
God.
It was so disgusting. I had flashbacks of episode
All
take a
right, I
spider.
got it.
whatever it was. I don't
dead.
believe you. Fake news. I wanted to hear the slap. I wanted to hear the the scream from you.
Hold
Go
on.
scrape
There's a
him up and show it
cockroach
to us,
on my
Will.
leg right now. Calm down, guys.
Look out.
Hey, that was a good catch of your microphone, by the way.
That thing almost
Yeah.
fell off the table. All right. Did you I feel like we discussed it more than we decided, but at this point I don't know that there's really a good answer. You're messed up either way. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we went down the rabbit hole with
there's
that
no
one.
good answer for that one. All right, next one. Would you rather lose the ability to lie or believe everything you are told?
Lose the ability to lie.
Yeah, I would say lose the ability to lie.
Patrick?
Yeah, I agree.
You fine Christian folk. I also would say lose the ability to lie. I do not want to believe everything I'm told, because once a few people find that out, there are going to be people that take advantage of that, and you're up the creek without a paddle. So,
Yep.
Good call, guys. Would you rather have $1 billion for yourself or $1,000 for every single hungry or homeless person in the world?
How many homeless people are there?
Or
hungry
okay.
people? Can I? I'm trying to do the math here, and I think there's way more. I don't need $1 billion.
In terms of
Would-
hungry,
would-
there's a lot of
would this-
hungry. I'm
yeah,
sure
would-
there's a lot of homeless
is-
too, but there's definitely more hungry.
That's a tough one. Because I'm thinking,
tough
like,
one.
would these
I'm going
people
with feed the
actually
hungry.
would these people actually use this $1,000 for good?
No, probably
Would
not.
half of them waste it? You know,
I mean,
like,
that's the risk you
$1,000.
take.
Yeah.
You would never know if you kept the $1 billion for yourself. So,
Now, it doesn't say that you get the $1 billion and you can only use it on yourself. You yourself would get $1 billion. So do you trust yourself to use a large portion of that money? And would you have enough money to be able to then help people at some point in the future to the same degree that you could help the whole world by giving all the hungry and homeless $1,000?
Would I do more good with that $1 billion? Would I?
Right.
You know, like, are you saying like create or found a foundation for
Yeah.
something that would happen, that would be in, for years to come? So
Yeah.
I think for me, like I would want to give every person $1,000 because, and hear me out, I think I can't say what they're going to do with $1,000. They could spend it foolishly, but at least I know I'd be giving them an opportunity to start somewhere. Every person would get an opportunity to start, and what you do with it is in your court. I could see the other side of it where you like start a foundation with the $1 billion or whatever, but at least like everybody gets equal footing to start from zero and go from there. So I think that's what I would do.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I think giving $1,000 to every single hungry and homeless person, because there's tribes there of that we don't even know about, and there are some that we do know about. So if there's like 100 kids that are hungry. That's $100,000 for that community that they can use. So yeah, I think I'll do the $1,000.
I think I'm going to commit and again be the black sheep, and I'm going to take the $1 billion. I'm going to start the foundation, and I'm going to teach men to fish and not just give them 1,000 fish for them to squander it away, because I'll be honest, in general, I don't trust a lot of people. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the $1 billion, and I'm going to foolishly trust myself to start a foundation. Would you rather eat no candy at Halloween or no turkey at Thanksgiving?
Candy. I don't have a sweet tooth.
I would say turkey at Thanksgiving. I don't really like turkey that much.
I would say turkey. Actually,
I went back and forth.
I would just eat.
Go ahead. You would just...
I would just eat ham or something at Thanksgiving because all meat is created equal.
Or candy.
I don't know, man. Bologna and turkey and bacon Those three are not all equal. But I would definitely...
They're all yummy. So
Fair. I don't know about bologna. When you fry it, bologna is yummy when you fry
Bologna,
it.
Thanks.
Bologna. How
Whatever,
about
dude.
olive loaf? Which I don't think olive loaf is actually meat. So I went back and forth on this, but I'm going to have to
we're not
go...
gonna talk about that.
Because I live in Brazil and nobody celebrates Halloween here, and I can just eat candy every other day, I'm going to say no Halloween. No candy at Halloween. I'll stick with my turkey and my turkey sandwich on Thanksgiving. Here's where things get uncomfortable. Would you rather eat crap that tastes like chocolate or eat chocolate that tastes like crap?
I would rather eat the crap that tastes like chocolate. I would just close my eyes.
I wish our listeners could see
how-
Patrick's
now
face.
how- Now, how
He's
much
just
are we
like-
talking? Is this all the time? So just like I just won't eat crap, like, or is this like some sort of fear factor thing where it's like, all right, here you go, you have 5 minutes to eat this.
Let's just say it's a moderate amount. It's not like a
Moderate amount, like a
yeah. It's not like a spoonful.
whose moderate amount? Like, are we talking like mine or my
I mean,
kids? Like,
It's
Full
enough.
handful
It's
or
enough
what?
that you're going to suffer either way, but it's not so much that like it's downright just disgustingly terrible. You know,
All right,
it's
well-
not just a spoonful, but it's not like a supersized 20-foot sub from Subway. I don't know.
yeah. Can I get the large crap number 1, please? Yes.
The crap flavored chocolate or the chocolate flavored crap. You got to choose.
Is
You
this
gotta eat one or the other.
One and done, like, or is this for the rest of
Yeah,
my
this
life?
is not. There's not. I mean, if you want to make
I
it
need to
fun,
know these
sure.
rules.
It's the rest
I
of
need
your
to
life.
rethink then.
It's 500 grams of chocolate or crap, and it's for the rest of your life. You have to eat it every day.
All right, I got a serious question I think needs to be answered. Is the crap hard like the chocolate is?
Oh, gross.
It's a serious question, though. I mean, you're not going to drink a.
How did we
you're
get
not gonna
here?
drink a shake
How did
here.
we get-
No, it's not like month-old dog crap found in somebody's yard that was too rude to not scoop it.
It's
It's
white,
it's semi-fresh. It's like a day old.
so hardened on the outside. Good.
Ah,
God.
it's more like hard on the outside, chewy on the inside, like soft and chewy. It's
All right, I'm gonna go with the crap that tastes like chocolate. It
Yeah.
sucks so bad, man.
it really does. It's awful.
Y'all are making me queasy just talking about this. Like, ugh.
Uncomfortable yet? Mark, how about you, buddy? What are you gonna eat?
You eat the poop or the chocolate?
I would rather have. I can't believe I'm saying this. I would rather have the crap that tastes like chocolate
Yeah, all right. I am not.
because yes, it doesn't look appeasing at all. Like it
Well,
looks
it's
nasty,
crap. Yeah.
but yeah, but it tastes awesome. So you're pleasantly surprised. Whereas you go to take a bite of the chocolate, and personally, I've never tasted crap, so I don't know what I would find whenever I tasted it. I don't imagine it would be any good, but at least you take a bite of the crap. I'm like, oh, hey, it's chocolate. I love.
But you
chocolate.
also got to think
So-
about the aftermath. The diseases that and sickness that you're gonna get from eating the crap. Are you sure? Are you sure, Mark? You want to eat
Really
crap?
gonna freak him out.
Hey, you said it too.
You're going down with me, buddy.
We're doing this together.
Hey, I'm joining you guys. I'm gonna eat that.
Challenge
Clean
number
sweep.
15, Lucas.
Yeah, right. I found some.
Gross.
Some crap, and ironically, it tastes like chocolate, and I can't wait to eat it for you on Twitch.
I am getting
Live
off of this
streaming.
podcast before 20 now.
Oh, we have 19 reviews. Peace. I'm out.
Hey, remember that train we were talking about earlier?
Oh yeah,
We're off
That-
You're off
those
the rails.
crap-covered rails. We slipped right off of those a long time ago. So.
That apparently tastes like chocolate.
Yeah, of course. So next one, you're on a deserted island. Would you rather eat your naturally dead friend or kill your favorite pet, past, present, or future, and eat him or her or it?
This is the worst game ever.
Hey, I told you it was going to get uncomfortable, my friend. Awkward, uncomfortable. So you have the...
We are like tap dancing over uncomfortable
Yeah, we are.
right now.
All right, come on. What are you going to do?
I'm sorry, PETA. I'm so sorry.
Ciao, Cisco. See you
But-
later.
Yeah. I love you, Cisco, but if I had the choice between, eating a naturally dead
No,
person.
but you also have to kill. You also
or-
have to take Cisco out. Like he's
You
there.
got to do the deed.
He's
would
like
be- it would
smiling
be
at
more
you.
difficult.
He's smiling at you like, "Let's play, Daddy."
It's for the greater good, Cisco.
I do a person. Make it a little game out of it. Make it a little battle royale. Duke it out 1-on-1. None left standing.
You don't have to do that. Your friend's already naturally.
No, the person's already
said
dead.
Naturally
Already dead?
Naturally dead.
Yeah.
Oh man. But then you have to. Oh jeez. Gross.
Whole different question now. He thought you had to kill a human or kill the dog.
It's the difference
Yeah.
between
The killing it would be easy, but your friend's naturally dead. They died of natural causes, died in their sleep.
Okay. Well then.
Nothing
Well then.
crazy.
it's
Yeah.
the difference between cannibalism.
I'll kill Cisco. Yeah, I'll do that.
How dare you?
No, but that's not your favorite pet, Patrick. What's your favorite pet that you've ever had?
Oh, it was my cat.
All right, now you have to look at your cat in the face, and then you got to take him out. and eat
Yeah,
him.
I'll do that. I can't.
All right.
I can't eat
It's,
a decomposed person.
It's the difference between cannibalism and survival.
I would choose cannibalism probably. I'll survive. I'm not about to kill like my dog.
I'm
out
with
there.
Ronnie. It's the killing factor that this.
If
did
I
me
were the
in.
dead friend, I would want my friend to eat my body. instead of
Exactly,
killing the dog.
it's more meat, and you didn't kill them. They're naturally dead. You're not waiting till they're rotting. You're just like, oh, that's too bad.
And if you get a
then-
dog or a cat on a deserted island, they could also hunt. So there's that.
exactly.
I don't
taking
know
out your
about
hunter.
my cat. My cat did it with the clawed.
I was going to say a hunter cat. What?
My dog would totally catch all the little critters all over the island and bring them back to me. So after I finished off my friend that died naturally, I would move on to the squirrels and stuff that my dog.
I'm pretty sure most of the things. I'm pretty sure most of the things on the deserted island would kill my dog. So,
That's true. Those hawks would just pick Cisco right up. All right, I got two more if you can survive. Would you rather leave your child unemployed and homeless, or
Goodness gracious.
now your child's an adult, so would you rather leave your adult child unemployed and homeless, or pay for their drug habits and illegal activities?
Unemployed and homeless, I'd have to say, because at least they can work up to getting back into a job eventually. Does it absolutely suck, and would I ever really want that for my child? No, of course not. But at the same time, I would not want to feed anybody's drug habit. Having a family member close to me die of a drug habit, of a drug overdose, I would never want to feed into anybody and their drug habit, because that can ultimately kill them and make their life worse. Whereas, with the unemployed and homeless, yeah, for a moment in time, possibly long moment, but who knows? But they could eventually come back, and get a job and that kind of stuff. Whereas I just feel like I'd be feeding them poison, basically, with a drug habit.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, I agree with Mark on that one for sure.
Yep, I do as well.
And I also 100% agree with Mark on that one as well. Okay, last one. Would you rather end the life of a single human being or 100 cute baby animals?
This is so
What in the
dark.
world?
Why? No.
Did you not pay attention to what the name of this is?
Now,
We're gonna get slapped with an explicit thing for this.
who is this person? Just randomly, just
Oh,
down the
gosh.
street. It's like, all right, he's
Random?
it.
It could be a rando. We won't make it too personal. It's a rando. It's just a random person. So
What
it's
are
just-
the sentences for killing a person versus 100 cute animals? Am I
mean, I
going
don't-
to get caught?
It's probably
No.
the difference between like 5 to
It's-
10 years and
It's between
life.
you and God. You're not going to get caught.
Shoot.
Oh, okay.
Shoot.
I had a decision to
No, I
make,
can't
God.
do
That's all I
that.
had.
Except for God, obviously.
Why'd you give me this choice? I'd kill a person. I couldn't do it
Yep,
100 times. No thanks.
Yep, I'm going with the person also. If I were the random person, I would want them to kill me rather than the animals.
Don't kill those cute little puppies.
Go ahead, take me. It's fine.
Mark?
Do I have to kill the baby animals one at a time, or can I do it all at once?
It's up to you. You can do it however you want.
One big dynamite stick.
Yeah, just tie them all to a dynamite stick. Stick of dynamite.
I hate you for making me think this way.
And this is how their podcast unraveled. The end.
A simple game of Would You Rather.
I'm sorry. I love animals. I promise. But over killing a human being, yeah, I'd have to go with the animals. I'm sorry.
You're a monster.
Mark, you are a
Yeah.
monster.
Well, you're a monster. You're a monster either way.
Yeah.
You really are. But I'm with you, Mark. I would also kill I would take out the 100 cute baby animals. I can't take a human life. So whether they're ugly, mean, whatever, person's a person. All right.
Yep.
Well, that ends our first and probably last Would You Rather on our podcast.
Hold on, I have one addition I want to add to this.
We have a bonus Would You Rather? I can't
We got a
wait.
bonus Would You Rather for you guys. Mark, I think you're especially going to like this one.
Let's hear it.
Who would you rather the next Batman be? Dwayne The Rock Johnson or Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Jeez, Ronnie, that's a tough
Question
one.
of the show.
That's a tough one.
We should poll that on Twitter. Oh, man.
We all win.
Tough decisions. Everybody wins, though.
The Rock says, "Get in the Batmobile, Robin."
I don't know if I'm comfortable answering that question. Is he going to hurt any cute animals or eat my favorite pet? Just kidding. Dwayne The Rock Johnson for me.
Yeah, it's a resounding Dwayne the Rock Johnson, for sure.
Patrick?
I'm going to go with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Ronnie?
Who is Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
What is who is?
I'm so glad you answered that question.
Figured I would cover all bases there.
With that being said, we're going
What is who is
why is I got a better one for you. Why is who The Rock Johnson?
Why is Gamora?
All right, fantastic question, Ronnie, to end us on. Thank you for lightening the Would You Rather, since I was so eager to make it dark and uncomfortable. But we've got to circle back. So dark. We've got to circle back to the uncomfortableness, and to do that, we're going to be going to Discord and our listeners. So, FrigginNutcase, Travis, our buddy, he said, "What is an awkward situation that you helped your children through? I'm thinking there are some stories to be heard." Patrick, this one's just for you and me, but feel free, Mark and Ronnie, to chime in on anyone you've helped get through an awkward situation. So,
Well, one comes to mind for my son. He was, I think this was last year or the year before, when he figured out that he was a boy. And
yes.
he had certain things that girls do not. So he would, anybody that he came across, he would say, "I have this. Girls don't." And "I have this. Girls don't." And I'm like, oh my gosh, buddy, you just can't tell just like random people that. So it was
Oh,
more
man.
awkward for me than it was for my son, because he was so excited about it. Oh man, yeah. I don't know if I helped him through that necessarily, but just talk to him that yeah, girls don't have this, boys have this. There's a difference. But yeah, I mean, he's only 4, and my daughter's 8. So like I handle Clark's things, and then really my wife handles the awkward situations for Claire, because I do not feel comfortable talking to her about those things.
Right. I'm right there with you, Patrick. Both my kids are a tad bit older. At least my son, he's 6, and my daughter's 8, around the same age as Claire. But yeah, for me personally, and for my kids overall, none of us. My wife is probably the one who is most uncomfortable with different things, boys and girl things, and all that. For myself, I'm not really. I don't really make a big deal about it or really feel a lot of pressure for it, but I also understand that it's good to draw boundaries for kids just so they're not overly comfortable. But at the same time, you also you don't want to scare them or make them think, oh, it's bad, or, those kind of things. So I try to play the middle ground with it, but I've definitely, as Patrick, as you've alluded to, I've definitely been in awkward situations with my kids, occasional, as they've gotten older, they stare, and like, okay, we're gonna set some boundaries so there's no staring and those kind of things. And then just in general, just kind of explaining to kids about stuff that they don't need to blurt it out. Those situations where you're in public and your kids are like, "Daddy, why is that man so fat?" And it's helped in Brazil that many people don't understand what they're saying. And so I can just be like, hey, you shouldn't say that. But there have been times where, you just teach your kids public etiquette. And going back to the birds and the bees things and the boys and girls stuff, I know there's been a couple times that we like to watch National Geographic and Planet Earth and animal shows with our kids. Sometimes they're very, the realistic ones where the animals are fighting and stuff. Sometimes the animals do what animals do and they make other animals. And there were definitely a couple times that my kids were just like, why are they fighting like that, Dad?
Why are they fighting?
And I'm like, well, so, and I can't say that I took that as an opening. Some parents are like, well, that's the opening that you talk about the birds and the bees with your kids. I haven't been able to do that yet. And so we've just been pretty much like, well, that's, that's what some animals do. Their boyfriend or girlfriend, or I don't remember how we worded it, but I don't think we said boyfriend or girlfriend. That would be very awkward later on in life when they get boyfriends and girlfriends. Mm-hmm. So we've pretty much said that's just some of the things animals do. And I can't say that I help my kids, but at least they're not scared about it, but they're also cautious. Like they understand the boundaries and all that stuff. So that's the kid stuff. Our buddy Sheldor, also on the Discord, said that moment when you're with someone at a store and they're behind you, you start talking to them and you turn around and they're not there. They've just walked away before you started talking. So you're just talking to but instead of talking to your friend, you're talking to some random person you've never met before.
Oh, yeah, that happens all the time. It's like, oh, where'd they go? Oh, hey, sir. Oh, they went that way? Okay.
Or like when you go up to somebody and you think it's that person from like far away, and then you realize it's not that person.
Yeah, or
at all.
or they wave in your area and you think they're talking to you, and they're actually talking to someone they actually know behind you. That's the worst. They're like, "Oh, you don't know me. Okay, I'm just gonna pretend like this didn't happen." Tim Paullin, he just posted a GIF of Indiana Jones that says snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? Very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
On this podcast, we've encountered some animals. Tonight, Patrick encountered a spider. I've encountered a cockroach. I do not like any creature that can move faster than I can track them with my eyes. So like skittery creatures like cockroaches, mice, rats, anything that can move too fast for me to react, I am not a fan. How about you guys?
I am not a fan of wasps or bees.
Oh, yeah.
Not a fan at all. And I think I actually told it on a previous episode of the podcast where I actually had a wasp fly into my mouth.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And the best part and going into uncomfortable situations.
Wait, the best
here.
part of this?
The best part.
I can't wait to hear this.
Okay,
Maybe a poor,
okay. Let me
poor choice of words.
let me qualify that. The most hilariously awkward part of it
Okay.
and uncomfortable part of it is this was in elementary school, and you know, when we would go out to recess and it was time to go back into the school after recess was over, we'd have to line up by our classrooms, and everybody was lining up to go back in for recess, and in front of the whole school, I literally had a wasp fly into my mouth. And I had to like struggle to pull it out of my mouth. I threw it on the ground and stepped on it several times.
Did it sting? Did it sting in your mouth?
It did not sting me, thankfully.
Wow.
You are incredibly lucky.
You are lucky. That's
Grabbed it and everything.
oh, that's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a little uncomfortable on a couple different fronts.
Now, would you rather have a wasp fly into your mouth or a spider crawl in your mouth?
I'd rather kill 100 cute puppies. I'm just kidding. I would suffer. Let the puppies live.
Yeah.
Depends. Is the spider poisonous?
No.
Then the spider.
Yeah,
Spider for sure.
I'd go with the spider too.
Okay.
'Cause
How long-
It's gross,
wait,
but at least
How long do I have to hold it in my mouth?
It's just a flyby.
Yeah, is it
3
just like
seconds.
in my mouth and 3 seconds?
Yes.
All right, I could do 3 seconds. If it's like a whole day, I'm out.
All day. Oh, jeez.
Why isn't Lucas talking? Oh, he's got a spider in his mouth. He can't do anything about it. Who brought the freak? All right. Ashley Michelle, our Scottish friend on the Discord, said, okay, so 2 things that make me feel uncomfortable are dogs begging for food while I eat. They just stare at you the whole time. It's awful. Also, you guys, well, I'll go ahead and just read the rest. Also, noisy eaters. I'm talking about open mouth, smacking lip eaters. I can't stand it.
Oh.
And my question
yes.
is, and in addition to this, we can touch each of these, touch points on each of these. But my question is, how do you normally express your awkwardness or uncomfortableness when you feel that way? Now, first of all, I want to apologize to Ashley if you're listening right now. Please forgive us for any comments we've made about puppies and dogs, especially me earlier about killing them. Given the fact that you're uncomfortable.
no animals were harmed.
Yeah, no animals were literally harmed in the recording of this. But given that you're uncomfortable with dogs begging for food, you definitely did not like some of our responses about cute animals earlier. So, all right. So, what do you guys think? Dogs begging for food?
Oh, I don't know. I guess it really depends on the dog. I don't mind it because I have a dog. We call her a beggar dog, and
Yeah.
she like hops around and she spins around, her tail's wagging. So for my dog, I don't mind it. Now like a big dog that slobbers all over me while I'm eating, then no thanks.
That'd be gross. Yeah, I'm with you. If it's a dog that's not mine, it's very uncomfortable because I don't know. Can I just toss it a little piece of food or? Like, do I need to be mean? Like, what am I supposed to do? But if it's my dog, I'll be like, you already ate your food, or there's a treat over there, or go away. It doesn't bother me that much.
I think it depends on how close the dog is. Like, if he's like right on top of you, then definitely awful.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they're like,
sure.
6 or 7 feet away, laying on the rug in the middle of the room, like, whatever.
Yeah, like Cisco, a lot of times he'll just sort of sit and stare at you the whole time, and it's not uncomfortable, but it's just like you try to enforce that's bad behavior, and so a lot of times my wife or myself will be like, no beg, no, stop it.
Yeah, if they whine, that annoys me, and I won't want to give them food. But if they just stare at me silently and make those sad like Puss in Boots eyes, like, and really pull at your heartstrings, I will say that is very uncomfortable. How about noisy eaters?
No, thank you. If you're a noisy eater, I'm walking away for sure. Like I'm
walking away. We cannot be friends.
No, if my wife comes in while it's like super quiet and she's just eating, like, and I can hear every single crunch or whatever that she's eating, even if she's not eating loudly, I just hear it. I'm like, nope, I got to get out of here. I'll leave the room until she's finished. Like, I can't. Like, if we're all eating, like, together at dinner, it doesn't bother me. But if I'm not eating and I hear someone else eating, I can't stand it. Then my daughter, she said that I have some sort of phobia about it. There's some sort of phobia that is named after you can't stand noisy eaters. I don't know. I can't remember what it is, but she always does it for me just to get a rise out of me. I'm like, you stinker.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, my wife. I don't really have. Although I knew one guy in college that like he would smack his lips all the time whenever he would eat anything, and it got annoying, I guess. But my wife is actually more notorious about it than I am, because like a lot of times when we sit down to eat dinner or something like that, a lot of times we'll put something on TV to watch while we're eating, and she will not let me take a bite of my food. She was like, "Nope, don't eat yet until we turn the show on." Because at that point she can't hear me eating. So
that's funny.
Yeah, I sympathize with her.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's totally annoying, but I think what's worse than that is if somebody is talking to you on the phone and eating. That absolutely is the worst, because it is right in your ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I call you and you're eating, I'll say I will call you back. Now, if you call me and you're eating, it's like, you called me. How about you hold on for a second? Or just call me after you're done
Say
eating.
what you got to say, or finish eating and then call me back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's all based on context. If they're if you're in a group of people and there's a number of people smacking their lips, I think it's okay. But if you got that one dude or dudette that's just like, and like there's not a lot of conversation happening, that is terribly awkward, because it's just like all the attention is on their loud. We had it, Mark, we maybe went to we had a same friend in school, because I also had a friend that he was so, like, you could hear him, like tables down in the cafeteria, you could hear him smacking his lips to eat. It was so loud. And then on top of that, he talked so loud, so that was a bad combination. But that can be very uncomfortable. And how do you guys normally express your awkwardness or uncomfortableness? Is there like one certain way? Are you tactful? Are you outspoken?
Quite the opposite, actually. Silence.
Passive aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll
Absolutely.
walk away,
Stare 'em down.
roll my eyes, do something like that. It's so much better when it's like maybe a trio and two of you are awkward or feel awkward and the other person doesn't get it. That's when the awkwardness is kind of fun. You kind of look at each other like wide eyes, like, what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Although, like with the guy I knew in school, I had another buddy of mine that he recognized the dude was doing it too, and so we'd be talking to each other, and one of us would randomly look at the other and go, like making fun of the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens for sure. That's funny. I'm more of a, it depends on my relationship with you. If you're a friend or if you're my kids and it's really bad, I'm just like, can you can you cool it
Stop
a little bit? Like maybe close the mouth for a little bit. That would be nice. But I again, it's the context. If overall people are just eating loudly and there's lots of conversation, I don't make a big deal. If there's background music, it's cool. But if it's like a silent room, you're eating in a library and you just hear,
Potato chip.
Oh,
yeah.
My wife.
Now, see,
eats,
the beginning of
one-
potato chips isn't bad. It's when it gets like the potato chip gets super wet in their mouth and they're sloshed.
sloshing potatoes.
Sloshing it around. Yeah. What's your wife do, Patrick?
Oh yeah, she eats popcorn one kernel at a time, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna take you 2 hours to eat this. All right, I'll see you
Just to
later.
hear.
I'm gonna go play some games.
Yeah, right. You don't really care. You just want to go play games.
Well, I mean, I have that phobia or whatever it is.
Oh,
but she
yeah,
knows
that's
it.
true.
She knows it. So, anyways,
Patrick, do you go in for the popcorn like handful style and like stuff it up against your face and like
I'll put like
squeeze all the
45
pieces?
in one bite. Yeah.
And like
And it's the same method.
80% of it goes into your mouth, 20% goes back in the bowl or your lap or the floor.
Oh,
It always looks like it's your first time
There's
eating in
nothing
like
like
3
a couple
weeks.
lap
Yeah.
popcorn kernels. Yeah, it's like, oh, I missed a
Oh,
couple.
for sure. All right, VP Barnaby Butters said that awkward moment when you don't know what to say or what to ask. When was your last awkward silence moment? Was it funny to remember, or is it still awkward to talk about?
I'm a man of few words, like, which is funny as I'm talking about this. Basically, like, if I have something to say, something important to say, I'll say it. But I have a hard time a lot of times with small talk, and then once I'm done telling you what I need to say, it's like this awkward silence. So like a lot of phone conversations where like I've said what I need to say, and then it's like, okay, that's all I have to say about that. It's like the Forrest Gump approach. That's all I have to say about that.
That's a great way to end it. If you don't know how to end it, you say, well, life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Me and Jenny Willow like peas and carrots. Okay, I'm going to stop now. But, yeah, that's me. That's all I have to say about that. Case in point. I rest my case.
We were trying to make it awkward as possible for you.
It worked. I couldn't stop laughing,
Left him
though.
on an island out there.
Mark's just like, yep, that's it. Here I am.
He just had to use the same line with us.
Lucas,
These are my
backed
friends.
away
ladies and
so
gentlemen.
far.
These are my friends.
Oh, that was good. Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, like the last time, I think it was earlier this week or late last week at work. I went up to one of my coworkers and I started talking to her about like a procedure and a particular scenario, and she was just looking at me, and I'm like, what? And I thought to myself, am I talking? Am I asking her a question? What is happening? Why is she just like staring at me like I'm speaking a different language? And it was so awkward. And then she starts talking, and then after she's done talking, she doesn't like end the conversation. She just like, it was like, stopping in like a mid sentence kind of thing, and she just looks at me. I'm like, okay, that's all I need, thanks. Bye. It was so weird.
Okay, bye.
Oh, man. That makes me think of with my daughter. She has these moments where you could explain something backwards, forwards, in multiple languages, and by the time you finish, she'll just be like, I don't understand. And there's been
Made you go through the whole thing.
yeah, exactly. And I just get to the end and I just look at her. I don't understand. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me! I just explained it. I don't even know how.
I just
to
explained you
this.
20 MCU movies in 3 hours. And
Yeah,
now you say-
exactly. It's Infinity War Part 1. Okay, Endgame is Part 2.
Oh, just go to IMDb.
Yeah, exactly. And Mark, I also relate to what you said, where you just kind of like sometimes you're saying something. I don't know, like I don't mind talking, but there's sometimes I don't know how to end what I'm saying, and so I do that, and I end with a so, and then the one that you guys haven't mentioned that to me is the most awkward is Skype, FaceTime, when you have a little bit of blip in the internet and people don't know who's talked last, or you just kind of stare at each other because there's a delay, or you both talk at the same time and then you both stop because you don't want to interrupt each other because of the delay.
That happens on this
Like
podcast.
Kind of like on this podcast. No, I don't know. I feel like we just kind of barrel through sometimes. We're like on those train tracks, just going without a care in the world. But sometimes when I talk to my family and friends on FaceTime or whatever, it can get a little awkward.
And that's all I have to say about that.
All right, moving on.
Bye.
Jeff Maxwell, our buddy on Facebook, he said, adults yelling at children in public, or being put into a situation where I have to yell at my children in public, laugh out loud. And then also, as a bonus, when that guy at the urinal next to me doesn't answer my questions.
This guy.
I'm just glad he didn't continue with the kid theme he was doing. That would have been very awkward.
It's like, why are you answering my questions? What's the matter
Answer
with
me.
you?
He's that guy I was talking about in that episode where we taled about the bathroom.
Do you flush once or twice?
He's the guy.
What do you like to hum when you're peeing?
No, truth be told though, like it's awkward with adults yelling at kids for sure, especially when it's just like overbearingly loud.
How about kids
also,
yelling at parents?
that as well?
That is more awkward.
Especially and like children acting up in a restaurant, like you have babies crying all the time and stuff, but like you've got little like 2 to 3 year olds that are like having a temper tantrum in the middle of the restaurant, and they like stand apart from everything else going on in the restaurant. But also I would take that a step further, and it's actually one of the things that I kind of listed on my uncomfortable situations. But any sort of argument or high tension situation or conflict that you are not directly involved in, but yet you're standing there in the middle, like while that's going on, like any sort of situation like that is super awkward. Like obviously, I work at a car dealership, and a lot of times, with customer service, there's some very unsatisfied customers sometimes. And so you get people who are angry or really upset, and they're mad at whoever they were talking to, and I'm right there in the middle of it, and I don't know what to do, so I just kind of put my head down, and I'm sitting in silence while this is going on. I'm just like, it's gonna pass.
You should like slip into the bushes like Homer Simpson does in that GIF, just like
Yeah, that gift. Just slip right back. You didn't see anything.
Yeah, I totally agree with you though, Mark. Like, I feel like there's nothing that's more awkward than like the person in front of you in line is like throwing a fit about something.
Oh yeah.
Like, and it's just it's the worst because you're just standing right in the middle of it, and there's really just nowhere you can go. You just have to wait it out.
Gotta wait it out.
Yeah. And there's been times when I've been in that line and I've been really angry about something, and then that person goes off. This is the positive side of it, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm cool. I don't need to add any more to this poor customer service person or whoever's getting yelled at. I don't need to add any more to what they're going through right now. I can, it almost, for me, it humbles me or helps me like kind of do a reality check and be like, I don't want to be that guy that just went off in front of me. And so actually sometimes it can be a good thing to go through that. But I feel the awkwardness of those situations. And and a lot of times it's the extremes, isn't it? Like you get the kid that's going really crazy and the parent goes crazy back on them, or the other side of it, when the parent tries to almost like pretend like the kid's not doing anything bad, and they're just like, they're trying not to make eye contact with anybody else around them, or even the kid.
Yeah.
They're just like it's like they're praying.
Sweep it under the rug.
Yeah,
routine.
sweep the child under the rug. It's like they're praying for the child to somehow not be possessed by the devil and to calm down. And a lot of times that never works. And a lot of times, 100% of the times, it sometimes works. But yeah, we feel you, Jeff. So, do you guys have any notable uncomfortable moments that weren't mentioned? Anything that either gets under your skin or is awkward, uncomfortable that you've experienced recently?
I guess I'll go.
Okay.
My probably most uncomfortable situation is talking about uncomfortable situations.
Cool.
Like this one.
Did anybody else just feel uncomfortable from him mentioning
I'm glad
that?
you mentioned that. Fair enough.
I think for me, one that was not mentioned is walking into like just like a normal bathroom, like a single-use bathroom, not single-use bathroom, but like not like a public bathroom. Yeah, you only use the bathroom.
Was it like a porta potty? And then it like
Disposable bathroom.
The porta potty disintegrates once you use it. Biodegradable
No,
porta potty.
like a bathroom, like a bathroom in a house or something like that. Basically, like you don't realize that someone's in the bathroom, and then you open the door, and then you find out somebody's in the bathroom and they're using the bathroom.
Oh, you got to tell us the story, Mark. So my mother-in-law.
Well, no, thankfully not. No, but I remember a while back, I had a roommate.
Names, please.
Basically, like I cannot name names for
Make it more awkward, please.
the
Thanks.
sanity of all involved. No, it was a friend of the person that I was with, the person I was married to at the time, and she was actually staying with us, and basically I didn't realize that there was anybody in the bathroom because the bathroom door was always shut. And so I went to go to the bathroom, and she was just getting up off the toilet. So yeah.
Whoops.
Oopsies.
Yep.
You know, here in Brazil, this is something that goes along lines with this. That is it can be awkward sometimes, but they close the door to the bathrooms when they're not being used. So there have been times when I've been at someone's house and I've just stood there for like 5 minutes waiting to use the bathroom. And the people that live there are like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm waiting to use the bathroom." They're like, "Nobody's in there." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm going to go use the bathroom now. Thanks." And I'm like, I'm constantly in doubt. And I'm like, whose idea was it? And there are businesses here in Brazil that they put a sign on the door, "Please close the door after using the bathroom." And I'm like, how
it's
are
like
you
a guess
supposed to
every
know?
time.
It's a guess every time. So you knock, and you're just waiting for that moment when, you know, there's going to be one time where I'm like, oh, well, the door's closed, so nobody's using it because that makes sense. And I'm just going to open it up, and there's going to be some stranger or some person that I do not want to see in that situation. So
They just need to make it a law that anytime you lock the door or whatever, when you're using the bathroom, it's like one of those, you know, occupied or unoccupied
and they should.
kind of
That
things.
should be a rule or a standard, but it's not. There are countless bathrooms that
It's
are
not.
unmarked, like other than the fact that they have a bathroom sign. But you have no idea if it's occupied or not. You just have to guess. It's good. It's definitely awkward and uncomfortable now that I'm thinking about it.
You ever knock to find out and you don't hear the person's response the first time, then you have to knock a second time and they shout angrily that somebody's in there? That's an awkward one.
I haven't had them shout angrily, but I've had people that don't respond. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I always respond. When someone knocks, I'm like, busy, in here, pooping, whatever. You know, I say it. I say it for what it is.
Where
Dropping a
there's
deuce,
times
whatever.
when I'm at work and the cleaning crew comes in and they're like clean up, and I know there is someone right next to me, and I'm waiting for a second for them to say it, like, and they don't say anything. I'm like, yep, yep, we're in here,
Yep.
we're taking care of
where I am.
business.
Yeah. There's
Me and the silent guy.
Yeah,
me and the silent guy that won't say anything. Now that we're talking about this.
Yeah, that's like
Let me just
go
share
ahead.
real quick. Now that we're saying this, I do remember there was one time I forgot to lock the door to the bathroom when I worked at a school, and a dude totally walked in on me, like going to the bathroom. I was sitting there, and I just kind of looked at him. I was
the
like,
deer in the headlights. Like, what are you doing in here?
and he was just like, "Oh, I'm so very sorry." And he was so like, he covered his eyes. He was so embarrassed, and I was just like, "Well, yep, that just happened." But we were good friends, so it wasn't a big
I
deal.
bet you were
We hugged
best
it
friends
out.
after that. Like, yeah,
We were. It actually was very much a bonding moment.
yeah.
I washed my hands before we hugged.
good. That's good. It's great.
You don't
yeah,
do it normally
like, you know, before.
before you hug, like
Only
after
for
you go to the
hugs.
bathroom, like.
Speaking of uncomfortable situations,
I'm not going to answer that, so it makes it more uncomfortable.
No, like obviously I told you guys I used to be a janitor, and I've never had this experience, but there's a lady, one of my coworkers, she was telling me that one time, obviously, as Pat kind of alluded to, especially if it's the opposite gender bathroom, you have to announce yourself to make sure nobody's in the bathroom before you actually go in with a public bathroom. And she, one time she very much announced herself a couple of times, and she starts cleaning the bathroom and all that kind of stuff, and all of a sudden dude just walks out of the stall. And it's like, and they train us basically, like, if something like that happens, you immediately have to, like, run out of the bathroom, because you don't ever want to be in an uncompromising or in a compromising position like that. So it's like you immediately have to run out of the bathroom. And I've heard stories of people, like, literally getting angry at people when they do that. But I just don't understand, like, why you wouldn't say anything.
Yeah, for sure. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Anybody else? I can't wait to listen to all these awkward silence moments that we have in this. Oh, man. It's hilarious.
Forgetting people's names.
Oh, man, I just own it now. At this point in my life, I'm just like, look, I don't remember your name. Can you tell me? I tell everybody, I'm like, it takes me 3 times to remember your name. And usually I don't.
It just makes me think. It makes me think of the Dane Cook joke where he's talking to this guy. He's like, hey, you.
Yeah.
You.
Hey, guy. Hey, you. Yeah. That's
certainly awkward.
It's totally awkward when you forget, though. And it's even more awkward when like, you're not just seeing them for the first time in a while, but you've been talking to them for a long time, and then all of a sudden something comes up to say their name, and you don't realize you don't know their name until you go to say it, and you're like,
Yeah, and there also comes a point in a relationship you're like, I should know their name by now.
Yes,
We've been talking
yes.
for 6
There are
months,
so many,
and you can't ask their name anymore. It's like you have to ask
you've
friends
passed
or
the point.
try to
There are
figure
so
out
many
what their
people-
name is.
There are so many people in my church right now that I still don't know their name, and I constantly am asking the pastors, what is their name? I should know their name by now. Oh, yeah, that is the worst, for sure. Yeah, I think that about covers it. So, besides the moments when I'm not sure if you're going to say something or not, I don't have any more uncomfortable moments. Well, I will say hospitals. Sometimes I'm a little uncomfortable in hospitals if I don't know the person. If there's somebody I know, and even then, sometimes it makes me a little uncomfortable. But that's just a side route.
I'm gonna give one more. That's probably not the most awkward, but it's like super common awkward. And that is what I like to refer to as doing the awkward sidestep dance. And that is when you're going in one direction and the same person is going in the same direction, and you try to step out of their way, and they go the same way.
You go. Yeah. There's been times when I've just like grabbed their shoulders if I know them well enough, and then we just spin. I force them to move around me, and then I just continue. Yeah, that is awkward when you don't know the person real well, for sure. All right. I think we're going to close out the awkwardness and the uncomfortableness. Guys, it's been real. It's been real fun. And on a positive note, I have to say, when I was thinking about this topic, I actually was watching Guardians of the Galaxy, and a lot of the jokes that they make in Guardians of the Galaxy, to kind of loop it back, I mentioned that in my weekly update so many hours ago. And in that movie, there are so many awkward moments that are a part of the jokes that they're so funny in the same moment. And part of the reason that, we wanted to talk about, the things that we're talking about today is not just to bring up funny things and to laugh, but I think the positive and the negative can bring us together. It's one way to make connections with each other, because we all have uncomfortable moments. We all have times when we instigate awkward times and when other people do. And I think our first reaction is to avoid them, to not talk about them, to sweep them under the rug. But it's a whole lot more fun to bring it up, to laugh about it, to discover where we have commonalities with other people, to learn more about each other. So even with the many moments of awkward silence and some of the things we've talked about that have definitely made all of us uncomfortable at one point, I've really just enjoyed being uncomfortable with you guys and having some awkward moments with you guys. So thanks for joining me in this very awkward conversation. You guys have anything else to close us out? Maybe some awkward or uncomfortable music like Yanni or that one song that always reminds me of those poor dogs that are dying. Yeah, there you
Sarah
go.
McLachlan or something.
I used to like that song, and now I just think of sad puppies when I hear that
Oh
song.
man,
So
yeah, that's rough.
it's awful.
Well, I just so happen to have picked some either weird or uncomfortable songs for the Good Morning Guys morning playlist, which you can always look up on Spotify. We're always adding new music to it, so you should go check it out and add it to your morning grind for sure. And so our three new additions for this week are the Beatles' "I Am the Walrus," because the words to that song are just so weird and nonsensical.
Cuckoo, ka-choo, Jellyman.
Mm-hmm. The second song is Justin Bieber's "Baby." That's like make you want to squirm uncomfortable. And then the song "I Feel Pretty" from West Side Story.
Yes. I will say that when "Baby" comes up when I'm listening to the Spotify list, I'm definitely going to skip that one. Because though I'm very glad that Justin Bieber is a Christian now and a very solid young man, I do not care for his music, and I will not listen to him sing to me and call me baby. Ugh.
I will not be offended by you
Fair
changing
enough.
it.
But I will listen to "I Feel Pretty" because I'm a fan of that song for sure.
I feel pretty.
I'm offended, man. I still have Bieber fever.
All right. Well, that's all there is. So, guys, gals, Pat, Mark, Ronnie J, you listeners, I think that's all for this good morning. Remember to connect with us on Discord, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Share with us your awkward and uncomfortable moments. We are the Good Morning Guys or at the GMG Podcast. Beyond that, we look forward to talking at you again next week on podcast services around the globe as we have our second official community and listener-driven show. Our topic will be a surprise and will be decided by you, the people. May God bless and guide your lives as you live, work, and game. Deus abençoe e a paz do Senhor. Até mais e tenham uma boa semana. Tchau, galera.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Next one. Would you rather speak all languages? Only speak, not understand. But would you rather be able to speak all languages, or no? Let's just scratch that. If you can speak it, you can understand it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to pick whatever the other option was.
Yeah, you are. Would you rather speak all languages and understand them, or speak and understand all animals?
Animals.
Yeah, animals too for me.
Mark?
Mark? I thought we had a Mark.
Bueller?
Is he still thinking about his answer?
He's praying about his answer. I think we lost him. He did write that he was having internet issues.
We can never tell if Mark is actually here or not because he's silent. Like he's silent and he sits completely still.
No. Oh, that poor guy. That's good because I hacked up that question. I can just do that one again.
Yeah.
once
you
we
did again.
once we get him back.
You said speak all languages but not understand them. I'm just walking around talking different languages.
Chocolate, chocolate, and then they speak to you, and you're like,
never know anything.
What is he saying? I don't know.
I don't know, but I can tell him what
so,
you think if you want.
He's such a weird guy.
I was like, how could the other option be any worse? Is what I was thinking.